Are there things in your life that you know so deep down inside that you can do, but no matter what, it just feels so impossible to make it happen? Or have you ever wished that some things just came more naturally to you? Or what about, have you ever wished that you could think or feel differently about certain things? Well, I'm here to tell you that there is actually a way to do all of those things. Hi, I'm Adriana Santos, and this is the Loving My Wild podcast, a show where we dive deep into the messy journey of self-discovery, self-worth, and living life unapologetically. From heartfelt conversations that make you feel seen and expert advice that lights up your path, together, we'll embrace the chaos of life, laugh about our quirks, and journey towards self-love. This is Loving My Wild. Come on in. Hi everyone, my name is Adriana. I'm a certified hypnotherapist and a subconscious reprogramming expert. And today we're going to take a little bit of a deep dive into the world of subconscious reprogramming. Because the truth is that we all have dreams and aspirations, but too often, due to our own subconscious limiting beliefs, we are held back from achieving them. So we'll be exploring how our brains are wired to accept or reject ideas based on our beliefs and our values. We'll be talking about the different components of the human mind and how they influence our thoughts and our behaviors. And we'll also look at how our trauma or emotional experiences shape our view of ourselves and the people around us, as well as how the negative thinking that we often tend to do can hold us back from achieving our goals. And this is important because by understanding the power of the subconscious mind, we can start to unlock the potential within ourselves and also reprogram our brains to focus on what we want instead of what we don't want. So we'll discuss some different methods for accessing the subconscious mind, such as my favorite, hypnosis, and how these techniques can be used to break free from self-sabotaging patterns. All right, let's dive in. So, have you ever been stuck in a pattern that you just could not break out of? Think about the time you realize that you keep dating the same type of person over and over and over again, or when you realize that you were never able to stick to a routine or a goal that you set for yourself. Or what about when you find yourself constantly worrying about the same things over and over again and kind of ruminating in them? Or when something keeps getting in the way of your success and you just can't figure out why or what it is or what keeps happening. So all of these things, it's likely that your subconscious mind is to blame. And before we can understand why this is, first we need to understand how the mind works. And as we know, the human mind is incredibly complex. There's the hippocampus and there's the neocortex and all of these parts of the brain. But for the purposes of this conversation, it helps to break down the mind into three parts: the subconscious, the conscious, and the critical mind. So let's start with the subconscious mind. When we're born with only the primitive part of our mind. This is where our fight, flight, freeze instincts exist. And we're also, fun fact, only born with two fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud sounds, which, hint, hint, that means that every other fear we have, whether that's fear of cats or dogs or fear of failing, all of that has been learned at some point in our life. And we'll get into that more later on in the episode. But the subconscious mind starts taking shape from the moment we're born until around the age of 8. So during this time between 0 and 8, our mind is like a sponge. and it's absorbing information from everywhere, from our surroundings, our experiences, the people we interact with, the things we hear, the things we see, the ways that we feel. And this is when our brains are the most impressionable. And what that means is basically it's absorbing all of it. It's absorbing all of the things that we see, all of the meanings that we're creating. And this is really where we form our values and beliefs based on those of our parents, our teachers, our environment, our life experiences. And like I said, at this stage, we're just a sponge and we're absorbing everything and everyone around us and creating meaning behind all of it. And we're learning what things to say and what things not to say. We're learning what things get us in trouble. We're learning what things bring us love and approval. And essentially, we're learning the rules of life based on what we're individually experiencing. And each person is going to learn different, quote, rules for life. And it's going to develop into an individual life script for each of us because we're all experiencing different things. We're all experiencing different people, different behaviors, different environments. And all of that is forming our own individual life script that is residing in our subconscious mind. And with that, people often question like, okay, well, what kind of mental programming do we have embedded in us then? And it comes from a variety of sources like our family, our upbringing, our environment, and even past traumatic events. And I like to say that it's really not about what happens to us, but it's the meaning we created around what happened to us, the emotions we felt around what happened to us, the beliefs we picked up around those events. For example, a child could have been bit by a dog and was never comforted or, soothed afterwards, so they develop a fear of dogs. While another child could have been bit by a dog and they were immediately, consoled by a parent, soothed, told that everything was okay, so they never developed a fear. So two of the same exact incidents happened, but only one developed into a negative subconscious programming based on the emotions and the beliefs they picked up around that particular event. And all of these experiences, these memories, emotions, beliefs, these meanings are all being recorded into our subconscious mind. And they're being stored as our knowns or our unknowns. So if we're experiencing physical touch as a form of love, it's being recorded as a known into our mind. If we're experiencing anger and screaming and yelling, that is being recorded as a known into our mind. If we're experiencing fear or feeling like we're not good enough, then that is being recorded as a known into our mind. And now the unknowns are the information that we haven't been exposed to yet. This is like the things that don't quite make sense to us yet, or the things that we don't truly understand or we don't gravitate towards. And it's just because we haven't experienced it, so it's an unknown in our mind. So for example, if we're experiencing anger and yelling at home, that is our known, while calm and supportive communication would be an unknown because we haven't experienced it yet. And another important thing to know about the mind is something called the pain and pleasure principle, which states that our mind will always gravitate to pleasure and avoid pain. So, what is pleasure and what is pain to our minds? Our knowns and our unknowns. Our knowns are pleasure to our mind because they are familiar. We have experienced it. And the unknowns are pain to our mind because they are unfamiliar. We have not experienced that. So, this is why it can be so hard to break out of patterns and habits because our mind is wired to move away from the unknowns, which can prevent us from making any real change and achieving our goals, even if it's something that would be healthy for us or move us towards the things we want. Our mind will always move away from what feels unfamiliar. So the perfect example of this is working out. Going to the gym is healthy, right? So why is it that so many people start and stop that habit? Well, it's because their mind has no knowns about choosing to go to the gym versus doing something else, like, watching Netflix on the couch or whatever it may be. So even though it's healthy and probably aligns with the goal someone has, it's unfamiliar to the mind, so the mind feels pain, avoids pain, seeks out pleasure, which is a known, which may be watching Netflix on the couch. You see, so the mind, even though it's healthy and going to the gym is what you want, it is an unknown to the mind. And so the mind will avoid that and choose what it knows, which is watching Netflix on the couch. And this is how and why we start to see self-sabotage behaviors play out. So when it comes to unlocking, your potential and reprogramming the subconscious mind, it's important to understand that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are largely shaped by the knowns that we have stored in our brains. And it's important to keep in mind that these subconscious programs are meant to protect us. The brain's one and only job is to protect us. And that's what it's attempting to do by gravitating towards the situations that it knows. However, as you know, this can also hold us back from achieving the things that we want in life or making the changes we want. And this is often why we get stuck in the same patterns or the same cycles, because the brain will always gravitate towards what it knows, even if it's not what we consciously want. So that's a little bit of 411 on the subconscious mind. And then right above the subconscious mind, we have the critical mind. And this forms from the ages of 8 to 9, and it starts to act like a filter, and it evaluates the information it receives. So think about kids around this age and how they start to kind of question everything. Like, does this make sense to me? What does this mean? And they start to gravitate towards things that they like and they don't like. So our critical mind will continue to act as our filter as we age. It's a barrier between the subconscious mind and then the conscious mind, because think about it. Imagine if everything we were hearing, seeing, thinking, experiencing was just directly going into our subconscious mind. We would be like so out of control. So this critical mind is a protective barrier our mind has to protect us. It's like, is this information relevant to me? Does this match my knowns? Okay, cool, let's move forward. No? Okay, let's forget that information then because it's not important or we don't need it. So that's our critical mind. And right above our critical mind is our conscious mind. And between the ages of 9 and 12, our conscious mind begins to start to take form. And it allows us to start to make, deliberate decisions. Our conscious mind is our logic, our reasoning, our willpower, our decision making, and our ability to analyze. And the conscious mind is our rational, and it's the logical side of our mind where we, make decisions from, we analyze and then decide. This is the part of our mind that's responsible for planning and problem solving, as well as making choices that align with our values and our goals for the future. So the conscious mind helps us to, stay present in the moment and think rationally about a situation instead of just, letting our emotions take control and just like living totally on autopilot, right? Our conscious mind is there to keep us present, keep us moving forward, moving towards the things that we want. And the conscious mind is the part that decides that it wants to lose weight, or it wants a healthier relationship or better friendships. And this is where things get interesting. The subconscious mind ultimately ends up controlling, are you ready? 88% of what we think or do, while the conscious mind controls 12%. Yeah. I mean, gasp, mic drop, jaw drop, just total what? I remember learning that and was like, wait, you're kidding me. Like our subconscious mind, which accounts for 88% of our actions, while the conscious mind only has 12%. And I'll wrap this up for those that really want to understand. What this means is that our actions, thoughts, behaviors are on autopilot. We are not consciously thinking of them. So if we're wanting to make a change in our life, what happens? We think with our conscious mind. I want to lose weight. So this is 12% of our mind saying, okay, cool, we're going to lose weight this year. But if the programming in our subconscious mind is that food is comfort, losing weight is too hard, the gym is an uncomfortable place, I shouldn't feel this, I shouldn't have let myself get to this weight. Well, that is 88% of our mind completely contradicting everything we want for ourselves. And, I'm not great at math, but if you take 88% of your mind saying one thing while 12% is saying the other, I mean, it's not rocket science. Which do you think will win? The 88% will win every single time. Your subconscious mind will win 100% of the time because your brain's only job is to keep you safe, keep you within your knowns and what you've always experienced in the past, because everything else is unfamiliar and painful to it. So the subconscious mind runs on autopilot, even though we may want to consciously do something. Even if we are consciously aware that something isn't serving us, it's likely that because it's been coded into our subconscious, we'll keep doing it. It's our subconscious mind that holds us back from achieving our goals and our dreams. And most of what we think or do has been programmed into our subconscious during infancy. Then it's not conscious decisions that we decided we want to have living in there, that we want to have controlling ourselves. It's none of that. It's stuff that we experienced when we had no choice. It's beliefs that we might not even agree with, but we had no choice because that's what our family thought. So it truly doesn't matter how deeply we consciously desire something. If that 88% is telling a different story, it will always win. And that right there is why making long-lasting changes in our life is so hard. because both parts of the mind are competing against each other. You have the subconscious mind and then the conscious mind just totally at odds, wanting different things. Think about the person who, loses 100 pounds, but then they gain it all back. That's because, they were able to push through the resistance enough to make the change to lose the 100 pounds, but their life script in their subconscious mind didn't change. So once they let their guard down and they stopped being so intentional about their actions and, actively trying to, lose weight or maintain their weight loss, their subconscious mind took over and they fell right back into the same patterns. And that right there is the subconscious mind at work. It is programmed to keep you safe and comfortable and the same no matter what, because everything else is dangerous to it. It is unfamiliar. It is unknown. So when we try to stretch ourselves outside of our comfort zone, the subconscious mind will always pull us back in, or at least try to. And that try is the resistance. No, we're going to go. We're going to go to the gym. We're going to go to the gym. Oh, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. Maybe tomorrow. Right? That's our subconscious mind trying to pull us in. And the no, I should go is the conscious mind trying to work us towards the things that we want. And then they're at odds with each other. So we're feeling that resistance, that tension, that one part of the mind wanting one thing and the other part of the mind wanting something else. So here's the deal. If you want to change, you need to get the 88% and the 12% telling the same story. So that way, 100% of your mind is working towards the goal that you want. So, how do we do that? Well, the first step, as always, is becoming aware, recognizing if your subconscious beliefs are holding you back. And you can do that, by taking a moment to reflect on your life. Are you constantly hitting roadblocks? Are you constantly feeling stuck in a never-ending loop? Are you repeating the same patterns, even though you might be aware of them? If so, it might be time to dig deeper and start to address what underlying beliefs are, causing those loops, those patterns that continuously, tend to play out for you. And then it's like, okay, now what? Now we need to align our conscious and our subconscious minds and get them to start working together harmoniously. And we reprogram our subconscious mind to have new knowns that align with the changes our conscious mind wants so that it can begin creating new patterns, taking new actions, new behaviors. And so how do we go about doing this? Well, one of the most effective methods for accessing and reprogramming the subconscious mind is through hypnosis. And in hypnosis, we are able to quiet that critical mind, that critical filter that's, trying to sort through information and trying to understand if it aligns with what the story your subconscious mind is telling. Hypnosis allows for that part of the mind to quiet and then provides direct access into the conscious mind. And then from there, we can reprogram the unconscious patterns that are living in there in order to break free from the self-sabotage, to build self-confidence, to explore our relationships with ourselves and others, increase productivity. There's so many different uses for it. And during hypnosis, we use techniques to actually do the reprogramming, where we replace those limiting beliefs with empowering ones. And I like to use a lot of different techniques with my clients, like visualizing themselves achieving their goals, or simply reciting affirmations that are meant to imprint new beliefs into their conscious mind. Because think about it, when you're visualizing yourself achieving your goal, it's providing a new known for your subconscious mind of what it looks like to achieve your goal. Or even with the affirmations, if you're telling yourself, I am abundant, that affirmation is becoming a known into your subconscious mind. And in hypnosis, we can visualize receiving our desires, creating these new knowns that align with what we truly want in life. It's really like planting the seeds of success within your subconscious directly, and then nurturing them to grow and bloom through the actions in the conscious world. And what I mean by that is that you plant the seeds into your subconscious of, achieving your goals, and then you nurture them in the conscious world by actually taking actions to achieve that goal. And it'll feel easier because your brain is already working to make that vision come to life. And the subconscious mind, this is the coolest part. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy. So these moments that are created in hypnosis are truly new knowns to the mind. The mind doesn't care if they haven't actually happened before. It doesn't know the difference. And when we continue to strengthen those knowns within the mind by reinforcing them over and over again in hypnosis, the old knowns start to lose power and the new ones start to grow stronger. And because the brain will always gravitate towards its knowns, it will start to gravitate towards these new thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, behaviors, whatever it is. And because of this, you'll start experiencing changes happening pretty easily and effortlessly because the resistance isn't there anymore. Because think about the reason that changes feel so hard, that resistance, is because of the discrepancy between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. That's what's creating the resistance. One is saying one thing and the other is saying something else. So, they're butting heads. They're two different stories. They're trying to do two different things. But when they're both on the same page, there's no more resistance. So making the changes that you want becomes easier. It's truly incredible. It really is so incredible. It's incredible to understand this. It's incredible to experience this. And I get to experience it. I have experienced it with my own self-hypnosis. I see my own hypnotherapist, and it's just, I get a loss for words, honestly, because it's so incredible to see the changes that happen and how effortless it feels, where I spent years and so much trial and error of trying to overcome certain things, certain fears, anxieties, and just working with a hypnotherapist for a few sessions, how just naturally they just progress. The changes that I want just end up showing up within me so naturally. And it doesn't matter what we're working on. It's the same thing. And it's incredible to see these same changes with my clients. Like, it doesn't matter what we're working on. I always hear the same type of thing, which is just like, I feel so much better about myself and my life. And like, I don't really know how. I don't know how it's happening. Like, it's just natural. And that's the best part, is that it is just natural. And it's such an incredible tool, and it can help so many different areas of your life, whether it's fears, phobias, anxieties, procrastination, focus, visualizing your success, changing habits. The list is truly endless. Actually, I have a blog post on the website that is 149 powerful things hypnosis can help with to improve your life. And I promise you, you'll look at that list and anything you want to achieve or accomplish or overcome will be on that list. It's truly incredible. And I mean, I would love to go on about hypnosis. I could talk about it for, 7 hours straight, but I'll go more in depth about hypnosis in the next episode so that, we're not here for 3 years because there are like 9 million different myths and falsities about it that really freak people out because there's just been so many misconceptions about it. And it's not rooted in reality. There's nothing for people to fear, and I want to debunk all of that. So tune in next week to learn more about that because although I may be a little biased, I really do think you'll be fascinated, and I think you'll be inspired. I think you would be inspired by it. And I want to share this with people because it is inspiring. And through hypnosis, you know, you can just truly access the depths of your mind in order to create new thought patterns and new beliefs. And you have the ability to break free from the limiting beliefs that like you don't want and then create lasting changes that you do want. I mean, like I just feel like this is the secret we've all been searching for. I continuously say this, I continuously feel this. I feel it deep within my soul that I just feel like this is the secret that we've all been searching for. Everyone in their little personal development journey, and where they're like, I keep trying this and it's not working, or why do I keep doing this? Subconscious reprogramming with hypnosis is how you get there. It's how you get there. Anyway, I know that was a lot of information. I know it was partially science class, but it's good background to have because it sets the foundation for everything I talk about. And having this understanding of the mind is crucial if you want to make any changes in your life, whether it's tangible changes like I want to start a business, or it's intangible changes like I want to build up my self-worth. You can achieve all of that with subconscious reprogramming and hypnosis. So if you're intrigued, I have a little gift for you. I have a free Magnetic Desires audio recording that you can download. And it's a hypnosis audio recording that lets you visualize your desires, lets you receive what you're needing, whether that is seeing your goal, feeling a particular emotion, releasing what's no longer serving you. It's pretty much a blank slate that you can use for whatever you need for your own purposes. And I created it this way intentionally so you can use it over and over and over again for a multitude of different reasons, whatever you're desiring, whatever you need access to, you can use this recording for. It really is just a versatile hypnotic recording. And I like I said, I wanted that because I want you to have a tool that you can use no matter what you're going through. So by listening to it and visualizing the things that you want, you can start to build up these new knowns in your subconscious mind that align with the things that you want. And by doing this, you can kickstart the process of rewiring your own subconscious to align with your truest aspirations. And it's like, imagine waking up every morning with a renewed sense of purpose and knowing that your subconscious is working hand in hand with your conscious mind and you're working towards manifesting your dreams. I think that's what we're all searching for. I think that's what we're all wanting, that the things that we're doing are pushing us forward and they're aligning us onto the path that we want, and that there's nothing holding us back. And so you can grab the link to download it in the show notes. It's free, and trust me, it's a good one. It's one that I use for myself constantly, probably I'd say at least once a day. I mean that. All right. Well, I think I bombarded you with enough information, so I'll wrap up today's episode. I hope you learned something. I hope that it inspired you. I hope that you feel motivated to start unlocking the power of your own mind. And if you learned something from today's episode, I would truly love it if you shared this episode with a friend or left a review. It really helps the show. It really helps me be able to continue to do what I love. And I would be super, super, super grateful. So thank you for that. And until next time, remember, it's never too late to start creating new thought patterns and unlocking the potential within yourself. You have, I promise, more power within you than you can even imagine. So get out there and start unlocking your own potential, and I will see you next time. And that's a wrap, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me on this messy journey of self-discovery. I hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. Remember, you are worthy of all the love and all of the joy in the world. Life may throw challenges our way, but we have the power to navigate through them, learn from them, and come out stronger on the other side. Never forget that you are capable of amazing things, and I believe in you wholeheartedly. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an opportunity to embark on this wild ride with us. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, leave us a review. It makes my heart dance with joy and helps spread the word about the podcast. Got a burning question or topic you'd love to hear us dive into? Reach out to me on social media at lovingmywild, or shoot me an email at adriana@lovingmywild.com. If you're craving more inspiration and connection, head over to our website at lovingmywild.com, where you'll find resources, show notes, and a community of fellow wild souls just waiting to cheer you on. And until our paths cross again, remember to embrace your quirks, find humor in life's absurdities, and most importantly, love yourself fearlessly. Stay wild, keep shining, and never forget how wildly capable you truly are. I'll see you next time. Bye!